Well, I finally made it to Masters on DPS, so I'm very proud of that. And
That's
then the rank reset hit.
that's really good.
Now I'm back in plat.
Oh, you mean back in plat after the placements, or what happened?
Yeah.
Oh,
After the placements.
so it's just right after it's on DPS at the moment?
Yeah.
That's alright. How many games you played?
Honestly, I've only played 8 games on DPS.
Okay, that's fine. To be honest, to just
Yeah.
get the accurate rank, you need around 50 games. Just
Mm.
play more, and it should be alright. You'll get the rank back. It's all good.
Yeah, it's fine. Actually, like a big part of the reason is that I've been changing my hero pool, like, because I used to play a lot of Sojourn and sometimes Mei. Now I'm mostly focusing on dive characters and playing Echo and Tracer pretty much exclusively. So I've been struggling a bit. And today I prepared some Tracer codes. Maybe you can go over those because I really don't have any dive character in my hero pool that I'm good at.
That's okay. Yeah, let's focus on those. And do you still want to keep playing Surge and the other characters, like Mei, for instance, or what's our plan for the long term?
Honestly, right now at the moment, because like before the rank reset, I was grinding a lot, just trying to hit the masters before the rank reset. So I'm feeling a bit burnt out. So my plan for now is just to chill and enjoy the game. Like maybe learn new characters because I'm good at these two that I play. Maybe even three if you want to include Cass, or pretty much hit scan in general. I feel like I'm good at that. So right now, I'm just expanding hero pool and taking a break from competitive in a way.
That's alright. That's alright.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would say for the long term, just make sure you don't have too many characters. Like we said initially, yeah. If you decide
yeah.
to actively play in the rank, actively climb there, I usually suggest just around 3 characters should work the best.
Hmm.
Ideally, if you have the characters fit in poke, dive, and brawl category, it should be alright. That's why usually around 3 is gonna be okay. But you can decide. You can decide and see whatever fits your goals the most. Okay, so I want to focus on the Tracer, and I believe there was a brief offline review as well, right? On it was on the Tracer.
Yes.
So how the implementing the feedback went?
Uh, because of well, not only because I've always wanted to improve my tracer, but after the offline review, and I wanted to focus more on the tempo part of the offline review, but you still gave me some tips for tracer, and I'll try to put these in game. Somehow, like I feel like I've improved, but I'm still struggling to win no matter what I do. I don't know if the issue is me or maybe there's the rank reset or what exactly is the issue. Because I feel like even when my performance on Tracer improves, the result still stays the same.
Yeah, so in terms of results, I mean, it's just harder for you to get kills at the moment.
Um, yeah, kind of, that's true. But I mean, in terms of results, that I still lose the games,
Yeah,
even
so
when
is
I
the
get so
games.
many kills.
Well, oh
Yeah.
yeah, understandable. That's all right because the thing is, it's kind of the mechanism, right? And you have a lot of moving parts in there. So once you're fixed, let's say your setup, your timing, after that, you also want to look at the other details too. And I would say Tracer is really mechanical character, so there are a lot of small details we can go over. I kind of suggested to go over the blink management a little bit more, but if there is something else or whatever is big we notice, we can also go over that. But for the most part, that's what stands out to me. Just knowing when to blink, how to blink. But before that, we just have the accurate setup. Yeah, make sure that it's gonna be easier for you to actually get to the target. Yeah, actually, how the progress on setup went. Yeah, I talked a lot about avoiding the poke, making sure that you closer to the enemy first. How that went for you?
I think I really want to say, and I think I did better on the setup. I'm crouching more, trying to have more trigger discipline, not shooting from afar, trying to close the distance first. I think so. I think so.
Yeah,
Maybe the VOD reviews will show something
that's
else.
alright. That's alright. That's alright. Okay, so setup is better. Are there been any other difficulties in general? Maybe certain matchups or just certain pattern you notice, whatever feels difficult for you on the tracer?
Yeah, when I'm playing into counters like Cassidy or Torbjorn or even this new support Mizuki, like
Mm-hmm.
something with CC, I play passive. I feel like I have to play passive because they can CC me and kill me easily.
Yes.
And when if I'm being passive, I feel like my team will just be taking a lot of pressure. And in these situations, I don't know what I can do because I can't go in and like hard dive. I'll die, and if I soft engage, I feel like I'm not doing enough. So playing into counters is a bit tough.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah, I would say there's gonna be a lot about baiting the stuff from the enemy. Exactly. You kind of have to anticipate the sweats too. What kind of CC you play around. So you treating it as a resource war overall. If you trade one blink with any of the abilities, that's a big win already. And use the tracer, you can manage to dodge a lot of the stuff because you have the blinks. That's why you're the best character at winning any one-on-one duel. So your first idea is you go in on the fight and then you try to just bait them to use something, and then after that you can look to go in, yeah, like you described, soft engage first, and then after that you can go for the hard engage. But this depends on the situation, of course. Yeah, we can take a look. That's why the blink management is gonna be important for sure. Okay, I'm thinking, okay, so this is something we can go over, baiting, blink management. Is there anything else you think?
I can't really think of anything right now. No, I can't. I can't think of anything else.
That's fine, okay. Let's take a look at the replays. Maybe let's briefly skim through the replays and see how the progress been on the setup and the timing. And then after that, we can discuss some of the details about the other stuff. Does that sounds good with you?
Honestly, yeah. I think this could
Charge
be like
complete.
our
Mhm. Oh, sorry, it
this
was
could be
my
our
battery.
that
Sorry.
scared me. This could be our main review. The only reason I included the second review is because this game is a bit short, and the other game it had a tracer mirror, so the enemy team had a tracer. So, and I feel like I relatively played well into the tracer mirror, even though the other tracer was mechanically just better than me. So I want to see maybe did I play well or what can I do in like tracer mirrors.
Mhm.
But yeah, this can be our main uh, votes for today.
Yeah, that's okay. Let's take a look. Let's take a look and see. Okay, are you okay with starting with this Hollywood game first? Or
Yeah,
do you
yeah,
want...
yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay, let's skim through real quick and see the setup, the timing first, and then after that we can focus on the tracer, mirror, blink management, whatnot. Okay, so right away, we set up a decent angle, and after that, you're usually kind of not looking to start here. Typically, you need to try to blink across. You usually want to end up somewhere here because you have options what you can do after. You need to go
Yeah,
maybe over here or try to also set up around HP pack. So be really careful this first
yeah.
poke.
That's what I did.
Yeah. It's just why I'm saying this is that this is always gonna be punishing when you do this first clip and here, and if the enemies know where you are, then it might get heavily poked, so it might be a little bit complicated to do so. So there's gonna be a good reason why we commit for this initial clip, but other than that, it's alright. Yeah, the direction, it went okay, we didn't get poked out, which is fine. There's just a big threat though of this to be happening. We got a kill though, that's nice. Isolated enemy, playing it really well on this angle. That's fine, okay. And now we can start building the pressure. Yeah, keep up the damage, sure, okay. Let's see how the next fight is gonna go. Getting the staggers is also fine, okay. After that we can move, try to take space. Yeah, let's see what you're gonna be starting with. Okay, so it's not bad here, but you want to set up a little bit better. And what are your thoughts? Where could you start? First of all, starting the cart. Why is that the choice for us? Yeah, should it be here? Should it be anywhere else? What are your thoughts?
I really wanted my Mercy to go help the team because I can blink fast into fight. So I was trying to communicate with the Mercy just to go help the team because like right before the fight starts.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and then when I tried to help the tank, I helped late, and I'm sure you saw from the offline VOD, I really have an issue with pulse bombs for now. I'm not so worried about it for now because I think there are other things that I can improve. But yeah, I also miss my pulse.
Yeah, but see, the thing about it, in my opinion, is that when you're in ranked, and especially if we have an ultimate, you shouldn't be the one pushing the cart. Obviously, there are a lot of situations when it's gonna be okay play because you're the character which can get to the fight faster. Usually, it's gonna be okay thing to do if we're thinking about the everybody is equally high ranked, sort of equally good players. But let's put it this way: if you're sitting top one rank player here with the pulse bomb as a tracer, would that be a good play at this rank?
Uh, no.
Not as much, right? Because you're the one who can make the
Yeah.
difference, because it's just more of a ranked idea. Yeah, you want to try to usually take the space, especially if you have the tools to pressure the enemy. So I would say you don't want to be here. Just let anyone else push the cart. Maybe the cart is not going to be pushed at all. That's also fine. But we're going to be focusing on winning the fight. And then after that, you can go back to it. Once both your team and the enemy kind of sort of more equal, I usually would say for me it's been because I would know everybody in my lobby pretty much. Let's say I play top 100 game, I know everybody. I can be confident that at this point of time, if I play Tracer or anyone who is going to be okay at pushing the card, that the rest of my team is going to get value. Yeah, just allow them to do that because that's just easier, better for them. Yeah, on the paper, in theory. But at this point of time, it's just usually not a good strategy because we want to treat it as what would top one rank player do in this game, yeah? And this is usually not gonna be playing around here, but it's okay. Let's say we would not play here, then where could you go? What are your options?
I think I can take the small room on the right.
Yeah, probably. And it's just gonna be side by the setup too. Yeah, just get closer. Get closer, so it's gonna be easier for you to pulse, because now your pulse partially will be rushed like this, because it's really telegraphed. If there's a good enemy too, it's something what's easy to notice and easy to dodge because it comes from the main. And just always technically harder to pull off whenever you start the pulse using pulse bomb from the main. What first part is your aim is messed up because those guys are strafing against everybody else here on the main anyway. They're gonna go left, right, and at the same time, you also not making it easy for yourself. Yeah, I'm thinking if those guys are strafing left and right like this, then maybe we can start on the right side, and then this way they're not gonna strafe at all for you. Yeah, if I start on the side, then it makes it easy for you to land a pulse bomb. Yeah, they're not strafing against you anymore. Stuff like that. And yeah, it's okay. We have to reset. Okay, let's see the next fight. That's probably will be a little bit more complicated to break to the choke, but you guys still might manage to do so. Nice, getting picks, capitalizing on the ultimate there. Our what happened?
Then I got shot by the Cassidy.
Just a lot of poke damage from the Cassidy there. Oh well, it's just something to react to with your blinks, but it's fine. Okay, it happens. It didn't happen as frequently. Okay, what about next time? Okay, sitting here, I would say the same probably. Just try to... I know that during this time it's a bit confusing, but if possible, especially if you have the pulse bomb, I would rather you think about winning the fight first, kind of try to poke at the card, yeah, just ask for anybody else to push it. And if everybody refuses, sure, you can be the one pushing, but I usually don't recommend it in your solo rank games. I would just kind of try to set up, yeah, just do it as soon as possible. Oh well, that's alright. Starting here. And see, this pulse bomb is gonna be much easier to land. Just make sure that is something what you also time with the rest of your team. Once those guys are distracted, then I think it's easier. But yeah, it's okay. I think the pretty good angle we started the short range, it's much easier compared to your first pulse bomb there. Okay, what happens after? Okay, we are at this main side, sure, going for the Mei. Yeah, okay. There is also a lot about the movement I think we need to tweak. I see that we kind of almost not doing the small movement with the crouch button. Do you strafe with the crouch frequently at the moment when you play Tracer, or?
I think so. I don't know. I haven't paid attention to it, but I think when I'm like strafing, I usually crouch on most characters, not just Tracer.
Makes sense. Yeah, it just situations like
I'm not
this.
sure though. Like I never thought about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we can keep watching, but it's just especially versus the Cassidy, any sort of hit scan. If they're trying to aim at you, I think it's gonna be a really good thing to do. But yeah, let's keep watching. So far, we are this right side. That's gonna be okay angle to start with. Okay, so when we get in a duel, yeah, situation like this, it's just if we're trying to mess up the aim, yeah, we're trying to kind of play with them a little bit and make sure it's... Oh, we actually did, yeah, let's see, like, we did that small thing there, yeah? Try to avoid their shot, so we start in peeking. They're actually trying to peek with the jump shot. Yeah, little strafe here, so they hit the body shot, that's nice. Okay, using verticality here. There's a high chance you can win this duel, but we just don't want to stay at the same position for too long. You got the blink.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say probably
This was very bad for me.
yeah, just probably try to change the angle and then you can use the recoil after, but it's okay. Let's keep watching. Yeah. Do you feel like... Yeah, so you mentioned the Cassidy has sometimes been the problem too. Do you feel like it's recurrent that the characters like this, they give you give you the problem in a way, or...
No, because as I said, I can like choose to not like hard engage on them. Um, Especially if I know they still have their hinder, so I don't like usually hard engage.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's a good move or not. Like honestly, this last fight I died to Casti because it's like my fault. I stood in place. I really thought I can kill him before he kills me. But otherwise, like I would try to keep my distance away from him, and sometimes like I don't think 1v1 a Casti or Anna or anyone with CC is an issue for me. The issue is that am I playing too passive into them? That might be the issue because
Yeah.
my team just keeps dying, keeps dying, keeps dying. I feel like I'm lacking the pressure.
Yeah, makes sense. I would say just then to this point about the more mechanical sort of stuff, just making sure that you do the right move and try to throw off the aim while keeping yours steady. And at the same time, what we're doing with our blinks as well, so this way it becomes easier. But yeah, so far I feel like the setup is looking okay. We have pretty short range angle. Yeah, let's maybe see a little bit of defense as well and see how you set up as well. Okay, so here we're starting out in the room. It's gonna be okay angle maybe. Let's see. Once everybody walks through, we probably can start pressuring too. Okay, that's fine. Divert some attention, change the angle too. Why not? That's good. Can probably go in a little bit harder, yeah, like we're saying, harder engage. Yeah? Why? Because your tank is getting grassed on, so that's something what we need to use. And I'm thinking during the times like this, you need to not only focus on trading your abilities, because I mentioned that your recall usually is a good opportunity. It gives you option to go in really hard, right? Kind of perform this hard engage. And if you notice that the fight is lost, but you never use your recall, then something is wrong. So maybe this is partially something what we can talk about, how to just do this soft or hard engage a little bit more. So I'm thinking, right at this point, the tank is being actively pushed. Okay, so we need to find a ways to first off try to bait out the resources. How you can do that? What do you think? What is the play?
I mean, here I just spoke from like from a safe distance. Should I close the distance here? I feel like it's too soon.
Yeah, but then it's too soon, but then your tank dies and it's too late. Right.
I
So
see.
so how should we play in this case then? So you get better cooldown trade because all your blinks there, you got zero cooldown. Well, it's not zero, but we can be getting better cooldown trade with the blinks. Say if you trade one cooldown for one blink, that's a win. But those blinks are still sitting there. So how we could use this as a tool while our tank is under the pressure? What do you would say?
I mean, honestly, I really don't know because the enemies are right close to each other. They're really grouped up still. I don't know what more like. Maybe I can just go in, empty a clip, then recall. But I don't know. I really don't know what to do in this situation.
Yeah, it might be at least this, right? It's still gonna be easier, I mean, better play in this case. But let's just start with, because there are two layers. We using the blinks in order to try to soft engage. Let me actually write it down. So we're kind of trying in the fight. Yeah, in the fight, we focusing on baiting the resources. Okay, and then first off, the important thing about it is you have to time the pressure. And so, like we said, timing. Timing is all going to be when your tank is under pressure, then we need to do something with our abilities, because if we don't get a trade, then it's going to be really complicated. Okay? So, one way you said is go full in, but I would just take it 2 steps back and think about it. Let's say you're trying to force out the cooldowns from those guys. What could be the possible play? How you could play that slower, so you force those guys to look at you while your tank is under the pressure, maybe force out a couple of the cooldowns too. What is the option? Let's start with the location where you can end up to force out the guys cooldowns here. What do you would say once you go in?
Once I go in, I can maybe on the room on the right.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Like just go across. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, so this is the part about, let's call it positioning. Yeah, just with where we end up. The one thing about it is always going to be cover. When you're trying to go in and blink, it's not going to be you going in out and open and facing everybody. It's always going to be blinking to some sort of structure, some sort of cover. So when during those points of time, you can take your duel. So I can technically use this card and isolate a Lari, or I can even pick this room and try to isolate somebody, but it's a bit difficult with this room because you have limited options. For that reason, I usually don't like this angle as a tracer, but that's just my point of view. I would not try to play here because you cannot blink left, you cannot blink right, you only have option to blink forward or backwards, and we usually want to, as a tracer, to have more options with what are we doing. Yeah, let's say with positioning, we need, how do we put it? We need more options where we can go with blinks, and that's why maybe starting here might be difficult. Yeah, for that reason, well, it's another layer, but anyway, if we're going on those guys, then we're trying to use the cover. I can maybe use this card, maybe I can use this room, or I'll say that's it. Probably there's no other thing you can do. Yeah, it is this. So I'm going in, and this way you're gonna be keeping their attention busy. And then once they do something towards you, then you have other blinks to react to this aggression. And that's why you have to track. Yeah, you have to track the cooldowns. What is the most scary, the biggest scary cooldown, on their team? What's gonna be, what you need to be aware of?
The hinder, the
The
castle
hinder.
unit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's gonna be probably one of the biggest, most threatening things. So once they're gonna be using that, you can blink and try to dodge it. Yeah, and I, in this case, let's say I use this cover here, I can maybe dodge it by going inside, or maybe as a more niche example, go here, but I don't like it because you create too much distance, especially versus this comp. I would usually prefer to try to fight a little bit closer, but that's fine. Okay, so this is one layer, blinks to cover. Now, let's start with your initial positioning. Yeah, we're saying more options, so you have opportunity to deal with those people. Where you could start, so you could have more options when you're fighting versus this choke here.
Maybe on the left side after the choke,
Yeah, left
like
side
on the
after the choke.
staircase.
Yeah.
Like yeah, maybe here.
Yeah, this is better. Yeah, much better because obviously we're limiting ourselves. Let's say I sit on the corner really tight. I'm not gonna blink right, but at least I can blink diagonally to the left side. I can blink left. I can blink forward. So there are multiple options compared to the area where you are. That's a big deal always. That's why you most of the time see tracers either start here or some tracers also do this, but I don't like this because when you have to peek this sideline, it becomes really long range, and as we said before, we always like to choose more short range position. Like this is short range position, but you don't have options, so this is not gonna be too good for us. Okay, so let's put it this way: before the fight. Okay, so what are we doing before the fight? It's also about the setup. Okay, I'm gonna write it down. The setup initially, this way it gives us options, and then after that, you're doing the blinks in the fight like this. Yeah, you're trying to blink to cover, you're trying to maybe bait out the cooldowns, but all of this is with this mind of you're trying to anticipate. Yeah, you're trying to anticipate. You go in the game and literally thinking about those top 3 cooldowns you're trying to bait. Yeah, what am I baiting? What I'm gonna be paying attention to? Because there's tons of stuff which can kill you as a tracer. Just no way you can survive for too long when you're gonna blink out and open, like I said. Especially if I blink in the face of hitscan player or any projectile damage. It's scary. That's why you're more hesitant to do so. But at least to just go in and maybe using the recall on the case would be better play, but yeah, it's another story just because your tank is under heavy pressure. But anyway, now let's keep watching. So, do you have any questions, or does everything make sense so far?
No questions so far.
Okay, let's keep watching. So, the fight is over. We have to play it really slow this time. That's fine. Yeah, okay. Now, it's setting up for the next time, the next engage. And this space here may work slightly better, but what do you would say about this angle?
I think it's better than the small room at first I
Yeah.
was in.
Any complications with this angle? Any problems you
Yeah,
see?
it's just some distance.
Yeah, just a little bit too much. Yeah, ideally need to get as
Yeah.
short range as possible. That's why, again, probably the top left stairs. But let's see how we play
I
this.
think I end up doing that on the like after this fight.
Yeah.
I'm still experimenting, and I realize this angle is not great.
Yeah. That's all right though. Let's see. When after you're doing this, and you're receiving the pressure, where do you blink to, right? I blink to here, but is it gonna be the best blink to be done here? Is there anywhere else you could be going at the moment?
I could go to the small room again on the
Yeah.
like behind the blue car.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, blink into cover. So this way, you let's also point this out. You deal with one angle at a time, always. Yeah, you deal with one threat at a time. Isolate the duel this way, and maybe they're still going aggressive. That's okay. But then you have the second blink for you to stay alive and keep dodging the bullets. Keep dodging this stuff, or we could try to go even deeper back here. But it's definitely not creating too much distance. Yeah, try to play within your range. Let's put it this way. Yeah. So I'm trying to think about the positioning of the blinks. Yeah, remain short range distance as well. Yeah, it's not only about the initial setup, it's also about during the fight. I'm constantly in the enemy face while blinking to cover and isolating the threat. Yeah, dealing with one threat at a time. This angle might be interesting. There's only one problem: if they come in a choke, you have to make this leap and try to engage on them.
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah, like this. Oh, well, it still worked out. This guy was pretty low, so we capitalized on it. That's good. Okay, keep fighting. Now we have the blinks for the dueling here. Have HP pack, that's good. Okay, let's see where we started. Okay, this is gonna be a good space for us too. Especially with the pulse bomb. That's alright. It's just a little bit difficult target to choose. You need to choose something.
Yeah, I tunneled Vision.
Yeah. Because, you know, it even might be the tank. I would say the brick is one of these, probably. For the most tracers, they would say brick. Brick is okay. You only want to be cautious about the shield. There's a tricky part if you stick the front of the shield, then it will explode. That's why you have to try to stick somewhere on the side, but that's where your setup comes in. If you have this good setup at the start, then it becomes easier. But the fastest moving target's just not the most convenient one, for sure. Yeah, that's why we probably can carry this fight a little bit more, but it's okay. Let's see how we're starting. Definitely not good. Let's see. Okay, what's the problem with this engage here?
I mean, it's just coming from a very expected place.
Exactly. Yeah, and also the way we blink. Yeah, it's just how you're trying to deal with the target. You usually want to think about. Obviously, it's not only about blinking in their face, but I'm also trying to think about as blinking more diagonally, trying to solve their aim a little bit more. You always try to blink on the side. A lot of the tracers, they would just even try to blink back, but I honestly would not even do this, where you end up right behind them, because a lot of the players, they have good muscle memory to deal with you. They still make this 180 turn. So generally speaking, if I can at least blink diagonally, end up this way or this way, that's going to be better. But in your case, you still close in the gap, but don't do it in a straight line then. You gotta try to blink to the side. And also, cover. I'm blinking to cover to the side, and then after that, I'm choosing what to do next. Well, actually, it's kind of more forgiving, right? Because you have this time in the poke phase. We talked about it, how maybe let's go in, and then I can recall back. That's fine. I still approach it with a slightly more, I would say, just make sure that you can do more pressure by blinking to the cover and doing it diagonally anyway. And maybe it just makes it easy for you to sneak in additional bullets this way. Alright, after that, we're still ready to set up. Okay, that's good. Okay, you guys have no problem. Is it gonna be this last fight where we're gonna lose to the Graph, or what's gonna happen?
I forgot honestly, but yeah, we do lose. But I don't know what happens. Yeah, maybe the Graph.
Okay, so we actually got the kill on the Ana. It's just we're trying to... That's what I mean. You have to somehow look for the traits here. There's already a lot of the actions happening, and we're not even ready to fight those people. You need to already try to trade something with them. If they going in, using their abilities, like they exchange in the nade, they exchange in something. Yeah, all of the damage now, it's not exchanged with you with your triple blank, but it's all going in the Graph. That's why it will be complicated. Obviously, we managed to get a kill afterwards. But I'm just thinking as soon as the tank goes aggressive, you need to think about it. Okay, also forgot about the Cassidy, but that's more on awareness side.
I thought he's going from the back, so I had to like I thought he's coming from behind me, so I was like, oh, let me get out of this room.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, happens. Yeah, the footsteps are kind of on the left. You actually saw him too. The peripheral vision. Wait, let me see. It's right there. We actually looked, which ideally should be. You kind of look to the side. He's right there. Yeah. So yeah, I think just try to fight this guy, maybe isolate it. I would say, obviously, you don't want to double peek the same angle, but maybe try to change it a little bit more. You can play around maybe with this space. Maybe try to use this cover too, but you want to be careful because we're talking about isolating a threat. I don't want you to be exposed to 2 angles at a time here. There's a lot going on, and there's also the Cassidy. You might get pressured by those guys as well if you get in their space, so probably manage to play around this here. That's gonna be alright. Unless you see a really good opening, of course. Maybe there's
Mm-hmm.
somebody who's really low, sure, I can go in really deep, exchange the recall for it, and then this is gonna be okay. Let's actually say this, because with the timing, and we said that in our offline review, it's mostly about the recall. Yeah, so I'm thinking if my tank is active, okay, I have to search for the opportunities to go in, and with the recall, maybe I try to bait out something big. Maybe this can be the case, or I can also try to get the kill, because I just go in, and some tracers they also do that. Yeah, they kind of go in, double blink even, and during those fights there's a really good opening, then you can also recall back. That's still better. Let's say I fight this Cassidy and he's really killable, maybe low HP. Okay, I do really fast blinks, try to also have extra blink to dodge his bullet, and I mean his grenade too, and then after that I can recall back. Well, maybe can also work, but it's always gonna be if you can get a kill. All right, do you have any questions so far, or is everything clear?
No, everything's fine so far.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Yeah, we can maybe also watch the second replay. Maybe we can talk about the attack, but I would say attack for the most part with the setup's been okay. The maybe the second map we can take a look at a little bit more.
Uh,
Yeah, what are your thoughts actually? Do you want to continue watching this, or do you want to watch the
yeah,
second?
but like, uh, there's not much time left on this. Can we continue? But like, honestly, this fight, my tank is dead, and I am somewhat engaging in the fight. Um, like if you go back a few seconds
Yeah,
before the tank dies, I
yeah,
am
right here.
like,
Yeah, it's just gonna be in this room.
I'm a bit like not hard committing, but I'm engaging in the fight. I
Yeah,
shot the Moira, shot the Ana, shot the Kaz, and this is what I mean. Like I feel like there's not enough pressure from me. Uh,
but
I mean,
why?
I don't have a lot of DPS on Tracer unless I'm like really close. But yeah, like I should have probably also traded recall in this fight. But again, it's just it feels like everything happened so quick. Like where did I go wrong in this fight, for example?
Yeah, well, first off, we're starting with the blinks, right? It's not about the recall. Recall is the last tool. Yeah, I was saying that at last, if there's no choice, we recall back, but the blink is your first tool. Let's start with that. What do you see when you're trying to fight those guys? Make it more efficient. Is there anything we can do to make it more efficient at the moment?
Maybe just wait. But
Yeah.
other than that, I don't think so.
Yeah, you just need to wait for what? For your tank to do the pressure. Yeah, you need to simply,
Yeah.
once they go in, receive initial attention. There's probably going to be nade and something going on. And while this is happening, maybe they're also stuck in their cooldown animation. Then you go and do stuff. But now we're too early. And then this guy receives the pressure. And then he dies. And then after that, you're trying to catch up on this guy. But we're not even able to invest the recall to or anything. Yeah, it's just time the pressure, but then see the options. Yeah, invest the blinks first, and then after that you invest the recall. Yeah, it's always something important. Yeah, let's kind of point it out as a side note. Yeah, if you lost the fight, if you lost the tank for now, I just want you to point this
Mhm.
out. If you lost the tank, but you didn't find an opportunity to use the recall, something is wrong. Yeah, maybe we
Mhm.
didn't recognize that we were not able to exchange the cooldowns. I mean, our blinks probably properly, or maybe we didn't recognize the opportunity to simply blink in and then recall back. But most of the time, it's just go in, trade the blinks, and then after that you recall, of course. But yeah, it's always big sign. The tank is dead, no recall. Well, something is wrong. Yeah, we didn't time the engagement correctly in this case. Yeah, always.
Okay. For regarding this fight too, I know my engage maybe a bit too soon. But I mean, it forced out a very important cooldown. That was not my plan because I don't think the Ana would use her nade on me.
Yeah.
But she used her nade. Is that still like still a bad engage? You know, when I forced such an important cooldown.
Yeah, it's good, but it's still not good enough. Let's put it this way.
Yeah.
Yep, you still can trade more. and that's the power of the Tracer. We traded this, so we traded 2 blinks for what they're actually using.
Or
What else?
nade.
Yeah, for the
She used
nade here.
nade.
Yeah, so ideally, we just need more uptime, and then you have the recall going in and forcing out even more stuff and creating kill potential afterwards. But now we not able to create the kill potential because of this. Yeah, simply we need more attention. Make sure that your team, your tank specifically, they go in and they do something, and then after that it's gonna be easier. That's how I would put it. Does it make sense?
Yeah, it is very frustrating though.
Yeah, yeah. The racer is pretty mechanical, and but there's still fundamentals like this. Really, it just
Yeah.
the timing, setup. Yeah, maybe we're talking about the blinks now. Kind of broke it down a little bit. So far, what we got is, we talked about the positioning of the blinks. Blink to cover. Also, remain short range distance. That's been a small thing too, and also blinking diagonally. Okay, so I'm gonna also
Mm.
write it down. I forgot about this one. Okay, we need to blink diagonal a little bit more, if possible. It's just kind of all together. I know, maybe it's okay, like the way you're fighting in terms of just with where you blink, but it just should be done all together. I think there's bigger problem with let's blink to cover and try to isolate the target. That's what I would maybe think about a little bit more in your case, and that's why you need good starting position too. So you have options what it can do, and you always able to not blink in their face. Yeah, you're able to blink somewhere left, right. Yeah, really important. The pre setup, pre setup fight. Okay. Yeah. Do you have any more questions, or does everything make sense?
No, no questions so far.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. What else we can add? I'm trying to think about the blink specifics a little bit more too. Yeah, I would say it's fine. I would say it's enough for now, to be honest. And I also have a small video on the blink management. I can also link it to you. I think it should be on
Uh-huh.
my
Yeah,
main YouTube.
please.
Did you
Yeah.
actually did you see that actually, or?
Uh, no, I didn't, but it's on your main YouTube channel.
Yeah, 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 it is. I can also link it. It's gonna be in the summary just in case I can find it for you.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, yeah, okay, I'll watch it later then.
yeah, I should help out too. But yeah, anyway, do you want to watch the second replay? And also,
Uh,
yeah.
oh yeah, we're like halfway done through our class, so yeah, maybe you can
Yeah,
start the second one.
yeah. I can also try to do a game and try to implement some of the stuff too. Try to see just what is gonna be threatening on the enemy team side. Yeah, how we blink afterwards. Just make sure you have good uptime with this. But yeah, I'm thinking, what are your thoughts about this game in general? Oh, that's the one with the Tracer 1v1.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Honestly, this game was much tougher. I feel like the enemies in this lobby were better mechanically, especially the Baptiste. He was really good. And Tracer also, like this Tracer, I could tell that he spent more time playing Tracer than me. So I tried to be smart about the 1v1s, and most of the time I'm forcing him out of the lane.
That's good.
Like I feel like I'm controlling this my lane, my space very very well with the cast, with the Tracer, with everything. And despite that, I still feel like I'm not bringing enough value to the table.
Well, first off, okay, let's see how we approach this because we definitely won this lane here, and then after that you're looking to go after
Uh,
this Cassidy. So I feel like
yeah,
you're trying to force out what? You're trying to force out the
yeah,
grenade here.
the hinder.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
hinder. Okay, so this is a first off they don't have the hinder, but this is another story. Let's see. I think it started to an early. Could we noticed that? I wonder. Let's see, because we're playing this angle, and then this guy comes out. Because it's right here. Yeah, if you heard it, then I think it's gonna be easier. I feel like
yeah,
it's more
but
on
I
awareness.
didn't.
Yeah, it's more on
Yeah,
awareness
could be.
side, but let's say they still have it for whatever reason. Okay, once you're trying to approach this duel, you see, you blink, it shouldn't be it shouldn't be proactive. Let's put it this way. It's more you're trying to force out things, but you have to force out something and use the blinks based on the triggers. You have to look at this guy, and in your brain, there's gonna be a little alert. Oh, there's a smoke in the room. Yeah, like this guy is gonna use he's gonna use the hinder on me. Okay, but his movement is not telling you that he is uses the hinder at all. So let's watch that again. Okay, so he's going back a little bit. First off, posturing really defensively. And see, what you need to pay attention to so this alerts you that this guy is using the hinder. What do you need to keep an eye on here?
Like the animation?
Animations. Yep. I need to start there. And I know it's difficult, but you have to.
Yeah. So
yeah.
it's not just about difficult. I feel like I may not blink in time or recall in time.
That's
But
true.
I have a question for this.
Mm.
Should I use my blink and recall in a predictive way? Like, should I expect him to, oh, he's gonna use the hinder now, for example, and then blink? Or should I actually wait for something to happen, then blink or recall?
Yeah.
Like, is it like, do I predict it or do I have to see it?
Yeah, you starting with anticipation. Yeah, you're starting with that. Of course, we have to be cautious like you do here. They have hinder. Yeah, let's be cautious. So now your alert system, it goes kind of thinking. It's trying to search, detecting this guy if he is going to use it or not. Yeah, because for most of the players, the problem is that they go in mindlessly. They go in and there's no alert system whatsoever. It's not there for them because they forget about the cooldowns that those exist. Yeah, and in your case, you have the alert system going, but you need the detecting. Yeah, you need to look at whatever is detecting you to make this decision. So I go in with anticipation that this guy is gonna use something. That's fine. And then after that, I actively search for any sign of him using it, and then I do the blink. And at the end of the day, it will feel more intuitively to you. You'll see those small, tiny bits of movement, and you'll blink in time. It'll feel really, really good. But it's kind of the same as with any other mechanical aspects, really, or like with any other concept. You do this slowly first. You wait for the action first, but then speed comes with time. You cannot do that fast right now. That's why you may die a lot, to be honest, when you just wait for them to do something, but that's okay. Because if you die, that means you didn't. Well, you either been mispositioned, maybe you've been playing a little bit too predictably, or you didn't recognize the sign that this guy is actually going to do something, that they're actually going to use their cooldown. And honestly, even for the pro players, it's going to be a really, really hard thing to do. Yeah, if you watch any Tracer, yeah, let's actually see. I usually like to show some of this. Maybe it's Gefest or a Lip. Yeah, there are a lot of good Tracer players. They still might fail at recognizing the signals, but we also need to keep in mind that they play against really high ranked players too. Yeah, let me actually. Okay, I'm just thinking about this video. Yeah, let's try to maybe move this and talk about it a little bit. Is our what are we trying to do most of the time? Yeah. So, for example, here we get into the duel and there's a Kiriko. Okay, so now there's no sign of this player of doing anything. Yeah, but maybe you can even put it on the smaller, yeah, like 0.5 speed here. Okay, so right now there's nothing's happening, but as soon as I recognize this, and I see a small alert here, this guy is trying to clip. So I can try to blink to show off this guy's aim, and then instantly try to do something. There's another thing. The rail comes in. They've been not able to react to it, but it happens. Sometimes, you know, even the best players, they still mess up those things. But anyway, most of your duel should consist of this. I go in, and I look at those small alerts. Okay, here. Nothing's happening. I still can shoot, full clip. Yeah, almost full, actually full clip here. So they dug behind the cover, reload, but now you probably expect the fire to be going on them, but still they don't see the sign, yeah? There's nothing what's shooting them, but they even double peek the same angle, which a lot of the times I tell players, well, if you double peek the same position and there's a lot of big burst coming in, then you shouldn't do that usually, but you always have to look if this is happening. If it is not happening, then it's gonna be okay. So in here they keep shooting. Now they get closer. This is the main purpose of the blink. But now they're not even actively strafing. They just standing still and try to deal with those guys. Okay. After that, this is the ball, so it's not as exciting. Yeah, they're trying to just deal with them. Then Tracer comes in, and there's a little tickling damage. By the way, the game also alerts you. It helps you out if you watch this. Okay, so this is their POV, but you always see this here. This helps you out a lot too in the game. Just where the damage is coming from, and knowing that if you know the direction of the damage, then it can help me to exactly know what cover I should be choosing. So now, what kind of two things they saw and heard? It's first off, they see this. Maybe they don't even recognize it too much because they have so many thousands hours on the tracer. They just so good at this stuff already. Yeah, it's already this alert system is telling them everything. But they see this, and they also hear the clip of the tracer. There's gonna be a really high burst, so I have to blink. But they didn't blink before that. Yeah, they didn't blink in order to try to avoid all of that because this might be happening. Yeah, first off, okay, this goes in. Okay, I try to dodge damage. Yeah, they took a little bit of damage actually, but it's still gonna be okay. Yeah, we still threw off the Tracer's aim here. Okay, next clip coming in. So I do additional blink and at the same time hard strafe into in doing this because they kind of out and open as well. Yeah, they need to really dodge this guy. And then there's no blinks, so I need to recall afterwards. But it's always for blinks first. Try to start there and see what is gonna happen. What kind of what is alerting you? If it makes sense. Does it make sense? Or any questions?
No, I get it. It's just much harder to actually like blink after someone's shooting at you or recall after someone's shooting at you.
Yeah, I understand it. It's gonna be hard initially. It's just the more you play, the easier it's gonna be for you to recognize. It's just like timing or good trigger discipline. It takes time for you to readjust the crosshair. You go from point A to point B to the target's head. That's okay. But once you're really good at trigger discipline and readjusting the crosshair, eventually it will become the habit. You will be faster. So that's all good. Okay, I'm thinking, well, we mentioned quite a lot already, but yeah, do you want to keep watching this? Maybe talk about the
Yes,
Tracer
please,
1v1?
can we?
Yeah, yes, of course, we can do that. Okay, so we're starting out, there's gonna be this left side. Okay, let's talk about this. Okay, so first off, doing this, and see the attention of the Baptiste, right? So you duck behind the cover, that's fine. We also have to reload doing this. After that, we choose to peek, but you see this needs to alert you already, because they're looking at you, they might burst you. Yeah, you have to be really, really careful. So, with my next blinks after, and with the way you peek, I'm trying to think. Yeah, what is gonna be the bad approach? Let's see. I think especially after here. Yeah, once they start looking. Okay, the dog behind the cover. What's next? What do you feel like is better play? And here, once you see him looking at you.
Go back to cover maybe
Mm,
instead of shooting him.
well, you can, but you're also thinking about if you can actually win the cooldown trade versus this guy. Yeah, would that be possible to fight this guy at the moment?
I think so. Yes, I have my blinks. I have my recall.
Yeah, it's still possible. So go in and trade the resources. Yeah, go in and you go in to where in this case? Where you can end up at this point of time.
In the room he's in.
Well, would you double blink?
Is it bad?
What do you
I
think?
thought I can. I think it's fine because he's trying to leave that room. He's trying to go out, so I can use the room as cover. He's not trying to stay in the room.
I mean, it can be. It can be. Just keep in mind that you're only gonna have one more blink to keep dueling this guy. So this is one way to approach it, right? Maybe it can work. Just a little bit more riskier, but still, the idea is I can try to go there. But the problem is, if I go from here to here, this guy still hits you though. So you cannot take this direction, right? I cannot just blink from here to here. This is going to be a straight line. And we said that we need more diagonal zigzag blinks. So what's your first destination? Should be.
Oh, the small wall on the like staircase.
Here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this gonna be location number 2. Maybe it can also be 2.1 here, let's say. And then after that, you can go to
Is that
this.
is that even like the 2.1? Is it even
Mhm.
good cover? Like he can easily see me, I think. Like
Yeah, he can, but the purpose of it is to close the distance, right? And you do it step by step. So it's at least better what we do now here, because now we don't have the range. And I mentioned that we have to get closer and get to the cover, right? But then with this here, he's looking at you. You're not showing off his aim too, so it becomes harder. Yeah, obviously, I would not choose this option over this. I probably would start here because you also closer to the HP pack just in case. Yeah, there are more options with how you can duel. This can also be. You always need to find the flexibility. We're talking about the principle, right? The principle, because there are tons of games you will play, but the general principles still apply. As long as you apply the principle, you get the quality of the principle later. Now the principle is not gonna be here. No, it's not gonna be there. Yeah, they're already looking, and they will be shooting you in here. So you need to solve the aim, try to blink diagonally, get closer. Meanwhile, and that's something what we need to do right away. Yeah. This guy didn't hit the critical shot though, which is nice, but still, there's a little bit of poke damage. And it might be a little bit tough. Okay, so now we keep fighting and see how we approach this. Okay, we actually grab the HP pack here. Yeah, so see, this is where you probably need to continue, and as soon as you see this, try to blink diagonally, right? So it's not shooting this guy. You blink diagonally first and then clip. This guy is gonna be turning, and then you see if he actually is gonna be turning into you properly, which is gonna be hard to do. If you blink diagonally, it takes more time for the players to just know where you are. Yeah, but there are also some small things you can do. By the way, use the structures like this. Maybe I can blink up on this thing. Maybe you can start here. And then just manipulate my hitbox this way. Make sure that you solve the aim. Yeah, make sure that it's as less predictable as possible. Yeah, I don't want to end up in the position where they confident aiming. Yeah, just always keep showing off the aim however you want to. But blinking down the stairs can also work. Yeah, diagonal blink. And I also saw off the aim in second dimension too. Yeah, let's maybe point this out too. This is gonna be a good idea. Because we're talking about more zigzag blinks. Okay, so I mentioned that. You have to blink on the side. Yeah, I'll just call it diagonal. Okay, can do diagonal blink, but you can also show off the aim in the second dimension, in the vertical dimension too. There's always the flexibility. Yeah, I can, like I said, maybe sometimes use the structures like this. Maybe I can also use something like this. Maybe stairs. Yeah, it's always gonna be less convenient. Let's put it this way. Okay, so I'm trying to put it. Can't do diagonal blink. So this is gonna be horizontal. Yeah, let's just say this is gonna be horizontal movement, and sometimes because with the way the blink of tracer works as well is you can go up a little bit. So let's say I would blink from here to here. You would dump on this platform. You don't even need to do anything. You go up a little bit. I think it's not sure how much it is, maybe 2 or 3 meters or something, but you kind of will find it intuitively with where you can end up. For example, if I make the jump, let's say from here, I jump and blink, you will end up on this 100%. It feels. You can also make maybe the blink from, let's say I jump and then I can end up on top of this thing, and then I can blink to here. Yeah, there's always small readjustments you can do with verticality. Stuff like that. Well, does it make sense or any questions?
I just didn't know about this. Didn't know it was this much vertical. I guess I'll find them out later when I play more Tracer. But yeah,
Yeah. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, but it's just as a general idea, you're trying to solve the aim as much as possible. Yeah. Actually using the stairs here, but you need to use the blink earlier, and after that go for the clip. So this way I'll be easier. Alright, so what are your thoughts? Do you want to keep watching, or do you want to do the game? What do you prefer?
No.
Alright. Setting up on the left. By the way, really good strategy. You see, adding just a little bit of verticality. If the Tracer is gonna pick me, I always have an option to deal with them a little bit easier. Yeah, it's gonna be better. Okay, so this one is interesting. If we able to win, yeah, if we're able to win this HP pack war 2, might be quite well. Okay, you guys both traded recall, forcing the Tracer out of the lane. That's good. Now playing the left side. Okay, Baptiste is trying to shoot us here. That's why this double peek in is not going to be good, because they know where you are. They know where you are, so you have to solve the aim a little bit. You cannot double peek the same area. If they don't know, and if they've distracted with something else, then sure, you can go for it. But now, this is not the most convenient play, so what do you think? What should you do here, in this case?
Mostly I did this because like my team is one down, and I thought like I have to get a kill, otherwise this fight is just lost.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I should not engage this fight. I have no blinks, and this guy's looking at me. Well, I only did it because I felt desperate. I need to do something because like my team is dying.
No, maybe I can try, but then make sure that you're able to fully commit to do the recall after, right? Because now it's kind of halfway through. We play here, and then we didn't end up recalling at all because of our double peek in. Yeah, then wait for the extra blink at least, and go in, recall back, and then out. Yeah, then this can work. Or if we're talking about more, if I assume that the fight is normal, then if you have an advantage, then you just start with the blinks first, and after that, you can decide, do you blink back, or, I mean, do you recall back, or not? Okay, going on the left side. Standing out. Fighting the Tracer. They won the HP pack, so they might have an extra advantage here, but let's see. Playing here is going right for us, manipulating the verticality a little bit versus the Doomfist versus the rest of the enemy here. Okay, fighting the left side. It's fine. Okay. Yeah, so let's see. We went for the pulse, which is a good trade. The Baptiste Lamp is usually a good trade here. Just right after here. You see, this guy's looking at you. What's the play after? Right there.
Maybe blink behind him or like outside.
Yeah. Just blink behind him. So this guy's aim. Yeah, you will have 0 blinks, but in this case, it's gonna be high kill potential. So it might be even worth it to commit the recall. Recall is always one of the things to you either, like I said, when most of your team is attacking, you can recall, or you can also try to get a kill with this too. I think, why not? This is gonna be okay. But in this case, just blink diagonally, and then this is gonna be even easier. But I think it still ended up being okay because you sort of have it as your tool. I would just kind of would still think, because the blink's still there. Yeah, there's no reason not to use that in this case, to just help you out a little bit more. The recall is kind of the last tool for us typically. Oh, what happens here? Okay, well, you just blink right in their face. That's why you just don't wanna. You need diagonal blink here. That's all. You make sure that you go to the side, right to left side, and then after that it will be easier. Yeah, I don't know. It's just
But like for example, this fight, this is the type this is the fights I'm complaining about. I killed the Baptiste, I killed the Cassidy. My team even used Orbit, and they still lost.
Yeah,
it's just so frustrating.
I understand.
All the time, yeah.
But this is the life of our just in general, you know, it's kind of like I mentioned about in our surgeon session that everything builds up eventually. Yeah, like our previous something maybe mess up, sold those previous things, maybe your ult economy overall because we didn't find value before the fight. It all adds up later, so you might lose the fights like this, and at the same time. And there will be the fights like this where you try your hardest, you do really well, you kill 2 people, but you still lose this because, well, it just it happens. Yeah, the enemy played better. Maybe your team played really poorly. That's fine. So at the end of the day, what matters is you play like this all the time, and it's gonna be consistent. Yeah, it's gonna be consistent. So you're not making the mistakes like this too. Yeah, because now if you don't make this mistake, which is a more fundamental principle, you cannot make this mistake. Yeah? You cannot blink in their face. In this case, yeah, if you don't make this mistake, then there's a really high chance of prolonging this fight, probably carrying, touching the point. After that, Winston is gonna be helping us too. You probably would carry this. Yeah, but I understand. Sometimes maybe frustrating like this, but don't focus on the fights like this, where you tried your best. It's just rather focus on the every fight and see how you can add a little bit of value with all those general concepts. Yeah, with all the general principles. So, for example, here, starting out, yeah, already, Tracer is advantage. Why? Because they got the first clip on you. And so in this case, it might be really difficult duel to win unless you get help. And if you get help, that means you miss resources somewhere else. And if you miss resources somewhere else, then there's a high chance that your team is gonna lose the fight. Yeah, like we're saying, even though we forced this Tracer out of this room, our team lost more space ultimately, and these guys won the point because of it. Yeah, we're kind of influencing these types of the fights. So first off, how should you play it? How to play it better? What do you would say?
Honestly, don't know. I honestly don't know. I wanted to come. I want to reach this room before the tracer because I expected she'll come from this room, but she came from like the right side and caught me off guard.
Mm-hmm.
So, I have no idea what to do.
Yeah, you're just kind of expecting the tracer. You just need to probably try to play around this angle here. Yeah, try to check this, but also be aware of this here. And see, this placement might be not the best to deal with the 3 angles. Let's put it this way. Maybe is there a way for us to position in a better way so you're able to deal with the both angles comfortably, or maybe this still can be okay enough, but then what should it be doing to like avoid this first clip?
Maybe this wall in front of me, this pillar.
Yeah, like here-ish. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe. Yeah, it just probably. I would try. Yeah, I would try to think about this. Kind of try to play around here, just in case you also have HP backs afterwards, right? Obviously, we'll try to get it after, which is quite nice. But this first clip is made such a big difference here. At least if I'm playing closer to this wall, then trying to be aware of the both sides actively. You have to actively look around because there's not only Tracer who they have, they also might be someone else who might come in and try to deal with you. Maybe it's the Cassidy, maybe it's someone else. But yeah, this is a little bit tough duel for sure. Eventually we got her out. Let's see how we play this after. Okay, at least we want the space for us, so we can use that to our advantage. Keep playing here. Alright. And going for the BAP. That's okay. And dueling Tracer here. A little bit more patience with the trigger discipline. But yeah, I'm thinking it's just more... this first fight kind of led to sending a lot of resources in this room. You just need to win this cooldown trade faster if possible. So this way it's gonna be easier for you guys to secure the entire point here. Okay, after that we're dealing with the Tracer. It's fine, they got the HP back. Okay, keep fighting. Sure. You guys cleared that space entirely and nobody else is affected. But, I mean, your teammates, yeah, they we're just making the rotation, so it's fine. Nobody is gonna get pushed because you got a lot of resources in the room. So eventually it's gonna be okay. Okay, deal with this. You need to blink faster. Yeah, in this case, just the pulse bomb. I'm also thinking. Let me see. What's the way you do that? So this is really a small thing, but important mechanically.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just show you this. Yeah, let's go practice range. Okay, we with how most of the players do that, and that's something what you can try to practice. Maybe do Waxta, or try to also do something like, I'm thinking Deathmatch. Yeah, maybe try hard FFA. But this is a really good
Mm-hmm.
way of, instead of this, where this takes time for your pulse bomb to float. You always can blink
Mm-hmm.
first and then pulse bomb after. So it looks like this in a way. I kind of, okay, I messed up the second blink, but you get an idea. Let me just show you this again. So I will usually blink backwards, of course. So maybe I will try to blink somewhere else. So it looks like this. Yeah. So I blink forward, but before the
Mm-hmm.
blink, you press Q already. So the Q
Oh,
animation,
before the
yeah,
blink.
before the blink. Yeah, so sorry, I
Oh,
pressed it two
okay.
times again. But yeah, I'm just trying to do this. Make sure that you have the perfect distance. So let me do it again. And for example, this is gonna be the distance, right? So I queue first. It's gonna be really fast. I don't have the proper keyboard for this, but yeah, okay, I messed it up now. But you need to do it really fast. If you can, get to the target. So let me try to do it again. Okay, so I press Q, and then yeah, I blink backwards,
Uh-huh.
and this entire animation is skipping. So you
Okay.
can always choose the target. Maybe it's gonna be the brick, maybe it's gonna be the Cassidy, maybe I would say just whatever is the most convenient one. It's usually gonna be better, but for this you need to have the good distance too. So you don't
Uh-huh.
have to make this aim projectile. Yeah, you kind of get closer and the projectile is already cancelled. It's already sticking on the target. Okay, does it make sense?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Yeah, maybe you can try
Yeah.
this out too if you want to. Are you trying this out right now or?
No, not right now. But does this also work like if you adjust the aim? Because like right now you're just blinking in a straight line. Let's say you had to adjust
Oh
the
yeah, this.
crosshair slightly.
Yeah, of course. Well, you know, the thing about the pulse bomb is you usually come from the side, so this is already a big deal. You kind of
Yeah, yeah.
will not do diagonal blink. In this case, you kind of can blink to the target, but you come from the side. Yeah, right? I don't want to blink in their face like this. I usually want to come from the side, ideally. Let's say I'm somewhere over here, right? So,
Yeah.
like, let's say, yeah, this is going to be more convenient. I'm slided to the side here. Yeah, they're not looking at me. Okay, I done this real fast and go back. Obviously, your second blink, you don't have to do it like backwards like I did too. Yeah, I can go from
Uh,
here and then I can always go somewhere else, like right side, left side. All depends on where you want to end up. Yeah, it's just
mm-hmm.
most of the time it kind of feels that because you're blinking out of the cover. Let's imagine I have the cover here, and I really want to get back to it. That's why you kind of blink backwards this way, like I did. But you don't have to do it the same way. Yeah, maybe
Mm-hmm.
if there's a
Mm-hmm.
closer cover like this here, then it's gonna be okay. Yeah, like I'm just need to, let's say like this. Okay, there. Yeah, see, like I hit the wall here, but it's just if I can get behind the cover, then maybe it's possible. Yeah, you just always have to look at the map. Okay,
Yeah. Okay, I understand.
that makes
Well,
sense.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay. Well, let's keep watching. Yeah, do you have any more questions about anything?
Nothing specific, but like in
Oh, the sweeper is
generally
already here.
speaking, like in tracer mirrors, especially like the enemy tracer is better than me, and I need support from my team to fight back. So, but if I
Yeah.
take resources, is bad for my team, and if I don't take resources, I can't win the tracer 1v1. Is there anything like any tips or tricks on how to deal with like tracer mirrors,
You
especially
get
if the
good.
tracer is better?
You get good. That's all. You just play better. And yeah, well, anyway, the general principles we said they still can apply, right? The way I blink, the way I predict the target, the way I, like we said about this. Obviously, there's a lot of small stuff like this. We don't blink at their face. Yeah, we blink to cover. All of this still apply. That's all. That's how you play better. You just be better tracer, and then you're gonna win the Tracer duel. That's about it. Obviously, it takes time, but with the principles, with knowing how to practice and what you can practice, it's gonna be faster. That's why I
Yeah.
can always help out with that too. But yeah, that's alright. Yeah, so for example, here, this one is obviously really. They're trying to mess you up, by the way. Like right now, when they try to mess up the aim, which they did successfully, ideally you should know that. And doing this, you need to change your angle, try to dodge a little bit more, and see, because they actually messed up your aim. Now your clip is not doing okay, and their clip hits you, so they already winning this duel right there. And yet even one clip to here, so you just need to play around this. Okay, the blink's happening. I look at them and I see this, and they are looking at me, and I see the first shots right here. Blink. Yeah, like with watch with the Gefest, you need to blink, and you solve the aim because they don't know where you end up exactly. You're making it more unpredictable. So I go somewhere diagonally here, and then because I know where they are, it makes it easy for me to readjust the aim, but they don't know. That's why it takes time. It's kind of the same as with you now. Yeah, you see, from perspective of the Tracer, they messed up your aim because they know, okay, this guy's attacking me. Okay, sure, he looks at me. Okay, now he's not. And now you shoot in their direction. They're taking their time to readjust, but while they have crosshair on you, you took the time to move the crosshair. That's why they won this 1v1. So it's just all about recognizing the small triggers. When you have this alert, yeah, when this guy is gonna be hitting the shot on me, then I have to make a move. Right? Okay, for example, let's see how we approach this. Okay, so first off, the Tracer, you see that she comes in. Pretty predictable pattern. Yeah, maybe we kind of get the first clip here, and then after that they start blinking. We're still gonna be maybe at advantage if we play it properly, but how should you play this? So the first clip, after this first clip, what are your thoughts? What should he be doing?
Blinking.
Blinking to
I think I'll
where?
blink left side, I see.
Yeah, maybe grab HP back. I think it's especially because you might be expecting them to also try to steal it too. And that's probably something they will try to do. Yeah, like second blink, they end up stealing it, and just doing it faster, solve the aim, get the HP back like we did at the first fights. And then it's gonna be easier. By the way, there's a small thing about the animations. I just saw them, they also do that too. It's knowing about the melee's animation. So when I do this, I think they didn't do it fully properly, but let me see. Did they? Yeah, so when this... Okay, ideally, and it kind of the same with the post bomb too. Right before you blink, you can always use the melee too. And if you want to add a little bit more damage, because your blink can cancel the melee animation. Yeah, I think I'm gonna show you. Okay, it's just gonna be easier to see in a practice range. Instead of you using the melee at the end of the clip, which we should be doing most of the time, like most of the Tracer players do, which is an okay thing to do. You can also do it this way. So instead of this, where I blink and then melee, yeah, I can melee first. So I melee here. And see, it's already hits. Yeah, I melee here and then I blink. And this is already faster. I cancel this entire animation. So let me try to do it again. So I can try to do the clip faster. Yeah, so it's like not like this.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of similar
So like the pulse. Yeah,
yeah,
you just press it before the blink.
yeah, exactly, yeah. And this also is really important. So if I want to finish the target, and especially like let's say I want to do the finisher melee. Yeah, why a lot of players say it's really good too? Because the thing about it is, see, I use the melee, but I'm already blinking really fast, but the melee hits there while I'm already here. So I can do quite a lot of stuff with this and make sure that I add a little bit of damage. Usually it can be nice if you also maybe not confident with the aiming part. Like let's say they're actively dodging you, then you can also add a little bit of damage this way. 30 damage is quite nice compared to trying to hit the shots if they're actively dodging. But it's just something to think about doing 1v1, so you need to try to practice. You will get it more intuitively. But see, I'm setting the melee like right here, yeah, at this location, and then I'm already hitting the target. That's why they're kind of not expecting you sometimes. Yeah, I can get really an unexpectable angle. Let's say they're really low, and then I instantly like use the melee here, somewhere behind the corner, and then I'm already in their face, and there's just a lot of damage.
Yeah,
It's always
I
nice.
see, I see.
Yeah, some small mechanical things like this too. Okay, I'm trying to think. Yeah, actually, in this game, there's all about the. There's a lot of stuff about the animations like this. You can always cancel something. You can cancel the shots with your abilities. Let's put it this way. Let's say that's why a lot of people would say the Genji's combos. Yeah, why those are here? Because when you do the right click, when you do anything, you do the dash, you can cancel the shot with your with your ability. Yeah, so if I do the right click, yeah, let's say right clicks here, okay, I can already cancel this entire animation. You see, it takes a long time to do the full animation like this, right? But I can always do this and instant dash. So while this shurikens are floating, I'm already dashing at the target, and this way I can secure more kills. And the same goes about right click deflect, or I don't know, any other abilities in the game like Doomfist Punch. Yeah, also with the Doomfist, I can skip this entire animation of shooting. So I shoot, it takes time, pre-shot. So this is how it looks. One shot animation. But I can shoot and instantly punch. And this way it cancels the entire animation. So I add a little bit more damage. It's with any of the characters, really. Like even Reinhardt, I do this, the hammer thing. I try to hit the target and then I cancel it with my hammer. I cancel this entire animation of the hammer. I make it like a half animation instead. Oh well. I'm trying to think about anything else. The characters we talked about before can be. Yeah, it can be. Let me see what we also have. The Cassidy, maybe the roll. Yeah, the roll is a big deal. Yeah, so you can cancel the animations too. This way, yeah. Well, also, it's giving you the reload instantly too. But yeah, like let's say I do the shot, or like let's say I done the right click or something, I can instantly cancel it with my roll ability if I need to. Something that's good to know. But I would say it's mostly useful for more mobile characters like Tracer. It's always gonna be good. Yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah, I see.
Stuff like that. Oh well. Anyway, do you have any questions about all of this, or?
Not really a question, but a little. I feel like we talked a lot of things. So, what's the what what are the main like two, maybe three takeaways that I should practice?
Yeah, you tell me. What do you think?
Blink management. That's one thing.
Mm-hmm.
The most important one.
So let's specify how you would go about it. What do you think?
Blink to cover.
Okay, so it's gonna be positioning of the blink. Need to blink to cover, and the way you blink to cover, you deal with one threat at a time. Okay, we're starting with that. Now, what else?
Also, trade resources more often, especially if the tank is dying.
Yeah, this can be too. So this type of time your recall with your team's pressure. Yep, your team's pressure, and it's just a tank is the signal. Yeah, tank is the first rebel which goes in and going aggressively. So you always keep an eye on for what they are doing. Yeah, pay attention to tank first. Okay. And if the tank is dead and we have the recall, a lot of the time something's wrong. In that case, you just need to be really careful. All right. What else?
Um, Try to approach from the side, not from head on.
Oh yeah, that too. That too. So trying to
And
do diagonal blinks. Oh yeah.
the diagonal blinks, also like the setup angle from sides, not from like don't go directly to the enemy, but like maybe from behind or from the side. Crouch more often when strafing. Also, use verticality if I can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's kind of partially about what we said about the blinks. Yeah, just especially if you know that if the enemy knows where you are, if the big burst damage knows where you are, they're already looking. Yeah, it's just, let's put it this way: it's not only if enemy knows where you are, but they also need to shoot. Plus, they are applying pressure. Then you're trying to show off the aim a little bit. You're trying to blink the side, change your angle. It can be verticality and horizontally with those diagonal with the diagonal blinks. Yeah, think about that all the time. Yeah, don't let the tracer who already knows where you are and already shooting you right on the face to do it in easiest way. Yeah, always track and see what is coming. So this is gonna be easier for you to dodge all the stuff. Yeah, I think this is gonna be good. Okay, is there anything else?
I don't think so. I think we covered every major thing.
No, I would say so. Yeah,
I
most
feel like
about the
that's
resources.
that's more than enough
Yeah,
to
there's
do.
definitely a
Yeah.
lot. Yeah, so just one more thing to add. You can always time to your recall with your team's pressure, but you can trade recall for the kill as well. Yeah, that's gonna be always good too. Something to know in terms of the timing. Sometimes it can be worth it, so don't be afraid to do that, but always have to recognize why. Yep. In the poke phase, of course, can also be okay. Yep, before the fight, exchange a little bit of damage, but watch where the rest of your team is doing stuff. Maybe you can get the kill. Might be worth it. Stuff like that. Okay. Let's see if there's anything else. Yeah, mostly blink management. I would say it's gonna be alright. Yeah.